On Monday, April 3rd, President Cevdet Sunay of Turkey arrived in Washington for a two-day round of talks with President Johnson. On their agenda, a review of Turkey's economic development, a look at the Greek and Turkish conflict on the island of Cyprus, and an evaluation of the role played by both countries in the NATO defense alliance. The 3rd was also the day that the Senate version of the Latin American resolution hit the front pages of newspapers across the country. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee had changed the tenor of the resolution itself. All references to the common market were dropped, and Congress's power to authorize and appropriate foreign aid funds was sharply and pointedly emphasized. As interpreted by a few of the administration's more prominent critics, the House version would have given the president the same sweeping powers as the 1964 Gulf of Tonkin resolution. This reference to the war in Vietnam would draw eventual comment from the president during his talks with Sunay.
This is the anniversary of the Truman Doctrine. 20 years ago, when President Truman called upon the American people to rally in the defense of freedom of Greece and Turkey. And there was a great deal of criticism in this land about that decision. Mr. Truman was accused of arrogance, of wanting to play world policeman. Some refused to believe this. Indeed, one of the proud moments of my life was on May the 7th, 1947, when I rose in the House to support President Truman and his supposedly disastrous policy of containment. Tonight, as we meet here in the White House, Greece and Turkey and Korea are taken for granted as dynamic, freedom-loving nations. And I hazard the guess that in 20 years, the Republic of Vietnam will similarly be taken for granted.